You guys, this situation is literally testing my limits as a human being, basically, right now. um, so I was on the computer today on Photoshop, and I was cropping. I was in the middle of doing a splicing of the Enterprise with an RV, which is my dream, by the way, in case you guys don't know that. I want to move into my own RV, and it's going to be called the Enterprise, and I'm going to have this new show on YouTube called Road Trek. But right now I'm nowhere near where I need to be financially for that, because as some of you guys know or not, I've been looking for a stable job literally since 2009 and have not found anything other than little temp gigs here and there, So, I'm doing this little splice on Photoshop, and my dad's passing by and is asking me how close I am to, to getting that RV, and I'm not even close. That's gonna take like at least like 10 grand. Well, the way I want to do it. And so basically we had a discussion which kind of led up to, it was kind of like letting me know that my stepmom is kind of wanting the dining room and the driveway back. It's not like they're not kicking me out or anything. That they're very understanding of my situation, but they're wanting me to get out there again and try looking harder for a job. And the thing is, as you guys know, I've really been trying, and it's so depressing. Not finding a job is depressing. Not making money is depressing. Living in a dining room without privacy is depressing. Just the whole situation, just being able to fix this car and drive it around, and at least to get it off this driveway so I can at least be able to park it on the street again with tags, with the registration, because here in California your car is required to pass an every other year smog test, and if it pollutes too much you don't get your tags. And this car didn't pass the smog requirements, even though I replaced the carburetor on it, and I've been wanting to fix it up and get out there and try job hunting again. It's just... Oh, and by the way, I have had at least a couple people recently donate to me through PayPal. I don't know if they want to be recognized on public or not, so I'm just going to say thank you so much. You guys know who you are. It has helped give me a lot of breathing room. Speaking of breathing room, this car is just like an oven. It's baking me alive. It's making me all thirsty and starting to sweat here a bit. So I'm just like wondering, what do I have to do? I've tried literally so many things to get a job, and I'm pretty much feeling like I'm backed into a corner right now, because I hate feeling like a burden on people. They're already doing a lot for me. I know I'm living in a dining room. I know I complain about it because it does suck. No privacy at all, being 25 years old. But anyway, besides that though, they are giving me their dining room free of charge with free utilities, and I have a lot to be thankful for. I really do. And I really hate to burden them. I really truly do. I as a 25-year-old guy, I feel like like, those to throw a little bit of humor in all this depression, those stupid, like, on Facebook, you see like a dog that's like, they happen to catch a picture of it when it's like jumping sideways, and it kind of looks like it's walking sideways through the air, and it says, "I forgot how to dog." I don't know. I'm just like, did I forget how to man? you know that's what it feels like. It's just so depressing. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm burdening them. I mean, I brought that up, and I said, I realize I'm burdening. I feel like I'm burdening. And my dad kind of jumped in to make me feel better, and like, no, you're not. You're not being a burden, and and we're still willing to help you and all this and that, and we're rooting for you. Oh, I'm thankful to have at least my dad who's very understanding and loving. But at the same time, I gotta get out of the dining room. You know, it's more for my sake, really. I actually have a high sense of urgency, and I'm willing to try. Just, I'm gonna start trying to implement more ideas in whether job hunting with YouTube. That's another thing. I'm working on turning YouTube into a full-time job, but it's taking time. I can't be living in a dining room into my 30s waiting to be able to make enough money off of YouTube to move out. And I don't know, it may take that long, it may not, I don't know. My YouTube channel's been growing like crazy. I don't know. I can't give you guys details of how much I'm making, because I can get in trouble, but if you're interested enough, look it up on Google, YouTube, AdSense. It's all the same company anyways. There's plenty of information out there of turning YouTube into your living, but it does take a lot of time and patience, and you really got to stick with it. So yeah, it's just I can keep going out there and look for work, but every time I do that, it's just like I'm banging my head into a brick wall. Just every time, just bang, 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 bang. For those of you who want a graphic demonstration, just over and over and over. It's just this repeated, like, mental torture, or whatever you want to call it. And in my personal case, for those of you who want to know a little bit more about me personally, which I'm getting to right now, there's only so much stress that I can handle before I just break down. I just turn into an emotional wreck, and then I get really, really depressed, and I just don't want to do anything, like literally nothing, and that's really bad. And then, like, I don't feel like pursuing anything anymore, and I'm just feeling like, oh, what I'm talking about. Maybe some of you know personally. If you're watching this video, you're probably in my situation or in a similar situation. So I've been through a lot growing up. To basically summarize my life story in a kind of user-friendly, internet-friendly, worldwide version that I don't care about if the world knows, just the kind of like basics of it. I was raised by my mom for like the first 21 years of my life, I believe, up until 2008. And I just couldn't take it anymore. I had to escape from her. And through a long series of strange synchronous events that was kind of miraculous in a way, really, I was able to get out of there. She was just driving me insane, mentally, psychologically abusive. And again, not to get too detailed, but she would say something like I should have never given birth to you and call me like idiot like it was my name. I'll leave it at that. I've learned to to not hold on to that anger anymore, because I found there was actually a time that I was like going out in public and just lashing out at random people. Anyway, that's a whole other story. I have a fucked up life, basically. I mean, there is some good, little miracles in there, but and I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. So anyway, I have my own beliefs that I've come to at this point in my life. Wow, I'm really putting a lot out there for you guys in this video. So yeah, so my point is there's only so much that I can take at a time. My personal drama coupled with my inability to find work and make money and feel like a man and provide and have a girlfriend, be able to date normally, just everything. It's just, that's why I was saying it's like testing me as a human being. I don't know. It's just, yeah, again, I just want to say, for those of you who donated to me, you don't know how much breathing room that really has given me. Yeah, it really is that bad. I've just been so depressed and just tired of banging my head into the wall, doing the whole job hunting charade over and over and over and over and over and over. Man, it's hot in here. Shit. See, that's another reason why I want my own place. That's the reason why I always film in my car. In case you didn't know. Because my car is the only private place that I have. Yeah, but I've learned to improvise, make do with the best of like anything that I have. While this car ran, I used it to go job hunt. Now, since I couldn't find a job and it's sitting here dead because I can't even afford to drive it anymore, it's basically my recording studio. And also, if I meet a girl online and she wants to talk on the phone, you want a little bit of privacy. That's a big thing. A man needs his privacy. Well, not just a man. I'm not going to try to get all sexist on here. Anyone. It's a basic human need. Well, actually, maybe even beyond that. Even it's beyond human. It's, animals need privacy too. It's a basic requirement for, I would say most living beings, to be able to have that your own place to retreat into, to just be yourself, to recharge, just to gather your thoughts and just be yourself and not be afraid of being judged by every little potential action that could be seen, like watching what you pull up on the computer screen or something. It's little things like that, it just like adds to my general anxiety and depression, not even being able to have the small luxury of privacy until maybe like 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Not beyond 5 though, because then my stepmom gets up to go to work. So, but I do have at least a few hours in between, or when I'm left in the house to myself for like an hour or two. That's like the only privacy I get. But on the flip side, I could be out on the street or living in this car, getting threatened by the police because of the expired tags. That's the reality of my situation. I'm putting it out there on the, to the world on YouTube. Am I crazy? Maybe. No. But yeah, that's my life. Living in a 10 by 5 dining room running this YouTube channel, trying to attract some attention, trying to make some money, trying to get my Enterprise RV. It's gonna literally have NCC-1701 painted on the side. For some strange reason, my cheapy little camera decided to stop recording at 15 minutes instead of 20 minutes. So just one little motherfucking thing, you know, after another. So I was just saying, I had to rewatch the whole footage to see where it cut off at. I've been sitting here for 15 minutes before I got to restart filming. So my Enterprise RV with the NCC-1701 on the side is my dream, and I'm gonna be, like I said before, gonna do that Road Trek series, my own alternate universe spin-off version of Star Trek. And it's gonna be filmed like Star Trek. It's gonna have, I'm gonna like get the camera and go like from one end of the RV to the other and like twist it, maybe with like some lens flare or something like J.J. Abrams style, which I learned how to do, by the way. With like, he actually gets a light off to the side, a physical light in his hand, and shines it at the camera lens from an angle. So it's not a digital effect, which actually surprised me. So that's my way to get out. Well, that's my dream place to be out of this situation. How I'm gonna get there, that's the challenge, because I can't find a job anywhere, and you know, even though I can try again and see if I find a little something that maybe pops up and disappears, just like all my other jobs, hopefully without ripping me off this time. YouTube is making me money. You can turn it into your full-time job. I can't get into details, but find out how you can do that. You can become a YouTube partner. But you'd really have to stay committed. That's the thing. You really have to, you know, you have to be a really patient type of person. I'm actually very patient, but at the same time, I have this really high sense of urgency to get out of this dining room so I can have some privacy, you know, a little place to call my own, a place where I can to not get too graphic on you, you know, they'll scratch my crotch without worrying about who's watching, you know, something like that, you know, just the small things. It's these small things that add up, and they just get to me, and really gets me depressed and down and feeling hopeless. And then when I try and do something about it, and then it gets me nowhere, and then I try something else, you know, and people are like, oh, try this, try that, go here, go there, apply here, do this, do your resume this way, do your resume that way, talk like this, dress like that, shave, don't shave, haircut, no haircut, shirt like this, shirt like that, present yourself like this, present yourself like that. Don't come off as desperate. Come off as desperate. You're doing everything right. No, you're doing everything wrong. And it's like, this one friend of mine tells me, there's plenty of jobs out there. You're just not looking. There's plenty of work to do. Yeah, the economy sucks, but you can find something. You just got a defeatist attitude. The fuck do you mean? Defeatist attitude, my ass, dude. He's my friend, but defeatist attitude, my ass. He hasn't watched my videos. I brought up in the conversation like 20 times, watch my fucking videos. I explain how I tried all that already that you're mentioning that I try. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'm probably about to fill up this memory card. Subscribe to my channel. And I can keep my fingers crossed that this video finds its way to a millionaire. I can only hope. Not that I'm proud of doing it that way, but I'm desperate. I've tried everything. Watch my videos if you haven't already.